Hey, what's up everybody? In today's video, we're going to be looking at the hardest hitting guns in Rogue Company, taking an in-depth look at their damage, as well as their time to kill or TTK. But first I want to say, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. I'm going to be putting out a lot more in-depth analysis of Rogue Company as time goes on, so please subscribe now and stay tuned. Also, we have a Discord now, and the link is in the description below. We have a lot of people looking to team up in Rogue Company, as well as just a very positive community. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. And I want to start by telling you exactly what we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be looking at all of the ARs and LMGs, DMRs, and SMGs in Rogue Company. For today's video, I have left out shotguns and secondaries, as well as the snipers from both Mixer and Phantom. If you guys like this video enough, I will do a second video including those weapons next time around. Okay, so I want to tell you a little bit about the process of how I got to these numbers. I went into the firing range with each rogue, I got the primary weapons out, and then I went and tested them at the different distances. Now, I know some of the guns have different damage fall-off ranges, but for the sake of simplicity, we're going to be using 10, 20, 30, and 40 today. Something else important to note is that for this first portion of this video, we're going to be using body shot damage and not headshot damage. We get to headshot damage later on. Okay, so once I was able to find out how much damage each gun did at different ranges, I was able to calculate how many bullets it would take to kill a rogue at full health. And from there, I was able to work backwards and calculate the time to kill. Now, at first, I wanted to chart them all in one graph and take a look at them as a whole, but I found that the graph quickly became a jumbled mess, which leads me to my first conclusion. The guns in Rogue Company are fairly well balanced. Yes, we're going to be making some observations in this video that show certain guns do have higher times to kill, but overall, it's more important to look at how effective you are with a gun rather than how much damage a specific gun does. Now, first, let's look at all of the ARs in Rogue Company. I am also including Anvil's LMG in this because it is the only LMG in the game currently, so you will also see it on this graph. So aside from Anvil's LMG, we also have Dallas and Trench's HRM 30KS, Dima and Ronin's KA30, and Saint's MLX Mark IV, as well as Vi's Nightshade. Now, the first thing that really sticks out to me is that Saint's assault rifle, the MLX Mark IV, has by far the fastest time to kill, almost across the board in the assault rifle category. The only gun that outpaces it is actually Anvil's light machine gun, the MLX Maw, and that is only at 30 meters. Another important thing to note is that Vi's Nightshade assault rifle has gotten a buff since I've made this graph. I don't think it'll affect the chart too much, but it might bring her close range TTK closer to the MLX Maw and MLX Mark IV. Now, ideally, you'd want to be using your assault rifle and having engagements around those 30 meter marks, so it would make sense that the assault rifles are closest at that point, aside from the Nightshade, which is more of a close range assault rifle. Now let's move into the DMRs. The DMRs in the game are Dolly and Trench's MXR, Dallas's Devotion, Dima and Saint's Mamba, as well as Talon and Fixer's Deadeye. Now, if you'll notice, they have significantly slower TTKs than the assault rifles. Even at longer ranges where they are more effective, they have a lot slower TTKs. But where DMRs do make up some room is actually in their accuracy and in their recoil patterns, which I will show you in another video down the road. So this just shows that TTK isn't everything and that accuracy also plays a role. And another thing that I've learned is that Dallas's Devotion is by far the worst gun in the entire game. And as I said earlier, you don't see Phantom nor Mixer Sniper on this chart here, nor do you see Phantom's DMR, but if we're going to be honest with ourselves, who in their right mind is going to choose that over the sniper rifle? Now let's move into what I think is the most interesting part of this entire video. Let's look at the SMGs in Rogue Company. The SMGs in the game are Chalk's D40C, Dahlia's Objection, Glitch and Talon's LMPX, Lancer's 24S, and Ronin and Scorch's SLC. Now, as you can see from the chart right away, you see that it's a very close cluster, pretty much across the board. And as I said earlier, I think that's a testament to the work that the devs have done for this game and how balanced each weapon actually is. But diving into the data a little bit deeper, you can see that the SMGs clearly have by far the fastest TTK up close, and that stays about that way up until about 20 meters when you have a big drop off of the damage that these guns do. And now, just looking at the data purely, I don't think a single gun runs away with this in the SMG category. Looking at it, the only argument that I can see is the LMPX, which is Glitch's and Talon's SMG, is one of the worst SMGs, although it does have competitive TTK at that 30 and 40 meter range. And I don't want to get too much into this in today's video, but the recoil patterns do play a pretty big role in how effective these guns are at range. Okay, now I've spoken a lot about how competitive the TTKs are in this game, but now let's actually take a look at my top 5 weapons in Rogue Company. So we're still going to be counting for body shot damage on this graph, but here we have Saint's MLX Mark IV, Anvil's MLX Maw, Dahlia's Objection, Lancer's 24S, and Saint and Dima's Mamba. Now the Mamba is the only DMR to make my list with the lowest TTK, but the other DMRs in the game have a lot less recoil than the Mamba does. And if we look at Dahlia's Objection, it is the fastest firing gun in the game, shooting 17 rounds per second. So if you're able to hit those body shots and headshots up close, you're going to be downing opponents insanely fast. Moving into Lancer's 24S, paired with her ability to roll to reload, you're going to be saving a lot of time, therefore dealing more damage per second. Now Anvil's LMG is quite an interesting gun. Its maximum magazine size can get up to 90 rounds, so you will be saving a lot of time reloading, and it just lays into people. The MLX Mark IV is very competitive across the board and it actually beats out some of the SMGs at a close range, and it has a higher TTK at long range too, as well as being one of the few scoped guns in the game. And if we look solely at headshot damage, it doesn't do as well at the 10 and 20 meter range, but it blows away every single other gun at the 30 and 40 meter range. So I think the clear winner out of this entire video is Saint and the MLX Mark IV, but hopefully you're not choosing a specific rogue based on their gun, but more so because of their abilities and your playstyle. So that about wraps up today's video. Hopefully you guys liked it. Let me know in the comments down below if I got anything wrong or if you'd like to see more videos like this. As I said, I'm going to be doing a video in the future about all the recoil patterns on all the guns, so stay tuned for that. Thanks. Have a good day.